Hey, it's the Queen Sugar Season 1, Episode 10 AfterShow so far. Make sure you stay tuned because we have a lot to talk about.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Ugliest thing but a road to riches and diamond rings. Because they hate us, floss because they the greatest.
I love
trying
that
to
song.
buy that guy
40 acres. We started the show with this song just for that lyric right there.
40 acres.
Because I was kind of obsessed with talking about 40 acres
It's
tonight.
appropriate.
It is appropriate.
Apropos,
Yes.
if you will.
You're
Is
so
that-
fancy.
I know you're the bougie one. You should have said that.
I don't think that that's what that.
Apropos?
Okay.
Doesn't that work? I don't know. You told me bougie.
When did I become the bougie one? I don't.
You
did I-
confessed
you did.
last week that you were bougie, so.
You said I'm a bougie bitch.
And tonight apparently I'm Michelle. So whatever.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our show. I hope you guys are having as much fun already as we are. I'm Tiona Hobson, and you can find me all over the interwebs at the Tiona Hobson. And joining me tonight, I've got my lovely two co-hosts.
Hey, I'm Ryann Graham. You can find me on Twitter at Ryan with 2 N's Graham.
And I'm Omari Bailey. You can find me on Twitter and IG at OnWithOmari. Also, hit me up on Snapchat at Omari B. Or, if you're feeling fancy, hit me up on Facebook at Omari Bailey.
Mari seems a little thirsty tonight
Wow,
for some
no,
love.
please,
Cool.
someone
I need some
please
loving.
get him some water.
Yes. Is it
This water is so good.
Yeah, I bet. It's got
So-
foam in it, doesn't it? Anywho.
Just a quarter inch.
I get it.
You get it now? Because it's beer?
Because it's beer.
Ryan has been a
So
little
slow,
bit
all
slow
night.
tonight, or today, we should say. So
really
if we
have.
were Destiny's Child right now, he would be Michelle.
God damn it.
Speaking of Michelle's, well, not really Michelle, but Micah and Michelle are kind of close.
It works.
Oh, that's a good segue. I like
Yeah.
it.
You know,
works.
Micah, Michelle, Kiki. It all goes together.
Kiki.
How are you guys feeling about Kiki?
I love seeing her in her Bring It On Cloverfield cheerleader outfit, getting down.
So you like looking at high school girls and cheerleaders?
Why do you always try? Last week you said I was trying to follow her on Instagram, I'm into minors or something like that. That is not the case. You
I'm
must
just-
be 18 to ride this ride.
Ooh,
Let me just say
ooh.
that. I am
not?
a fan of their young love as an adult, looking like, oh, that's beautiful. It reminds me of when I was a young person. That's all I'm saying. It's very innocent.
So I appreciate what you said.
Okay.
And my feelings are that I like her a lot. I like her for him.
I do
and I
too.
am a fan of their young love. She's very
Forward?
forward and to the point, and me as a 30-year-old, I'm never that forward. So part of me is envious of her. The other part of me is like, girl, calm down. You are 16.
She's
Yeah.
so
Keep
real.
your legs calm
Life's
down.
short,
When-
and I gotta get home. Like,
When he's
If
like,
you don't do something, do it.
He's like,
Like,
yeah,
oh.
I guess I'll hit you up later. And she's like, why guess when you can know? I
It
was like,
does feel-
damn,
I'm
let me
like,
write
what?
that down.
I know,
That is
it's a good line,
impressive.
but I agree. What 16-year-old girl is like? I got it, and I know. I'm sure there actually. Never mind, I take that back. I'm sure there is a 16-year-old girl out there.
Have you met the millennials
Yeah.
of this age?
You're right.
They're like 32 nowadays.
I do like her. I like her as a character.
She's fun, spunky.
She is. She's fun and spunky, but I still am annoyed by them. I
Do you
don't
think
know.
there's an ulterior motive with her at all, or do you think it's pure, just strong young black woman, just claiming what she wants?
For his sake, I hope that it's pure
Yeah.
and innocent because he's already had that girlfriend who,
Right.
used
Well, that was a
him.
white devil.
Whoa. Okay.
We're not talking about
Okay.
It's
So,
it's been a rough couple 24 hours for
Yes.
us. A couple of 24 hours, maybe just one 24 hours.
Just one.
Just one 24-hour cycle.
no, I don't. I think because he's already been through that relationship, I don't think she's gonna be there. I do think she's genuine, and that's why I like her. I just, I think after you guys said I had issues, I kind of reflect
With
on,
love.
maybe I
Maybe
do.
you do.
And what you find in your reflection?
That I don't like love, but I'm happy for them. I'm happy that he has a win because he deserves a win. So.
He does
Good for
deserve a
Micah.
win.
I'm
But-
about it.
But she is just very forward. And one of part of the advice she kind of gave him in this whole thing is when they're talking about Gardini Prep and how his scandal comes up out here from his old school about those pictures that were not his penis, but somehow he still got blamed and got expelled
Penis.
for
That's
it.
such a weird word. Penis.
That's what you want to reflect on right now?
You just
That's
sounded
the
weird
part
and
that
like-
you want to talk about?
You're
is
writing it down. And you literally
I was
start
like,
writing.
penis. I mean,
Sounds
Something to
strange.
research later.
what
I have
is
one.
a penis?
I just call it my dick though. But
Okay.
anyway,
See, I think that is the not appropriate way to discuss
this
it.
is such a
because it's just
classy
so
show.
vulgar.
I feel like I'm like on another show right now. This is a little classier. Let me like change my language.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
and use words.
I'm sorry, Queen Sugar fans.
Yes,
Different
thank
show.
you.
So Kiki and Micah and the Gardini scandal. Yes. So it comes back up, and then she kind of dives in and like questions his ex-girlfriend, like, was she white? And he's like, yeah. And they just kind of have this cute little laugh in their shared blackness. And I love that happens in the show a lot because I think that is so reflective of life because there's so many moments that you just have with another black person that you just get. Like, we just get it at times, and it's just funny that, like...
Whether you're light skinned or not.
Yeah, exactly.
No matter the shade, we still can relate
We
on
still
some
see
levels.
the shade.
Like, have you guys ever been in a room of people or a group of people and there's like you and one other black person and something happens and you guys just make
look
eye
at-
contact and you just
Like,
know,
no.
you
know.
communicate in that
Tell them
moment.
something,
Yeah.
like, did
It's,
you?
yeah, it's like, man,
Okay.
It's like
what are we gonna do about
silent
it?
acknowledgement. Like,
Yes.
you just laugh
I just-
inside.
That's what this was, except it was just them there.
Yeah, so it's fun.
But one of the things that she kind of was telling him was, well, why do you want to go to that school? If you don't want to go, then don't go. Like, why
Be your own
Be
man.
your own man, make your own decision. And I was thinking, okay, again, girl, he's 16.
Yeah, she was very bossy.
Like,
He's
he
living
gonna,
at home.
You gonna go tell your daddy what you are and are not gonna do right now?
No,
Like,
that's not gonna fly.
that's not gonna fly. But then I also had to reflect back to, young Tiona. I did not want to go to the all Catholic girls' school for high school.
How'd that work out for you?
I did not go there.
Oh,
Well, first of
awesome.
all, I didn't tell my parents when the testing was, but my mom already knew when the testing
Yeah.
was because my mom's smarter than me, but I thought I was outsmarting her. But
She lets you think you're-
I convinced them to let me go to the public high school. It was a very good high school, but
Yeah.
on the back burner was if you get one bad grade, if you mess up any times, you were going straight to that school. And they're like, we don't care.
You made all
Motivation.
A's?
First mistake, you will go there. So high school, goody goody Tiona.
Straight A student.
I mean, A's and B's.
yeah.
Nice.
No C's allowed.
Yeah.
But,
makes sense.
I never got any C's either. So
Well, good.
So you
Yeah.
got D's.
Yeah.
no.
I like that. That's funny.
Sorry.
That really hit you. That really hit you.
But I mean, just thinking back, I'm like, I get what she's saying, but she's also saying it in a way of like he actually has a choice in the matter.
Right.
Yeah, I also felt like it was weird when she was like the man I'm trying to get to know, and it just
The man. I'm sorry.
or maybe
Kids
she
move
said boy.
fast.
I don't remember.
You're right,
But,
they're mature
But I
these
do. I
days.
felt like she moved very fast, and in that, and it was interesting to kind of see her be so forward and pushy, and I'm like, okay.
I just
but-
don't know where this like maturity and wisdom came from at that age because I didn't have any of that when I was 16, 17, 21, 25. So I'm just like curious where she's getting this knowledge from. So I'm very impressed with her words and how she's like trying to make
Yeah.
Micah be more mature and be straightforward and direct. Like say how you feel. If you want to
know
date
where it's
me,
coming
date me.
from.
If you want to kiss me, kiss me. Like stop beating around the bush because we all do that. We play
Yeah.
those
Oh,
games.
games.
I can tell you exactly where it's coming from.
Where's it coming from?
Ava DuVernay. there you go.
There it is.
Here I was thinking you were gonna have something else to say.
I know,
like,
instead of something deep.
I
Like, I mean, that is
Nope,
deep,
nope,
but
nope, nope,
no, it's just in the script.
I'm
Okay.
just saying, no, she did it. So there you go.
yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
We're done with Micah and Kiki.
I'm done with them.
All
I
right.
am. I'm over it.
For
I mean,
right
we're
now.
not done with them. We like them, but that's
Yeah, we're just gonna move on to the next couple.
All right, let's do it.
We got Nova and Chantel,
all about it.
who
Are you?
didn't they just break up? So
Yeah,
what are
I'm
you
like,
all about? The
that-
breakup or them actually being
I'm all
together?
about them together. I think they're going to get back together, but that's prediction, so I'll say that for later. I just love seeing just these open, free people express their love for each other and just, be happy.
Interesting, because I feel like this
Yeah, that's what
episode.
you're about.
I don't know. I just feel like that's not what we saw this episode. So that's why I'm like, okay.
At the beginning, it was all
No,
like
even
For the first two
the first
minutes.
scene we saw them together
then
cooking her breakfast,
and then she
like,
immediately tries to control her and is like, well, you need to get your talking points. Like, it's, to me, it was almost like this was the first
She
time.
wasn't trying to control her. She was trying to input her opinion and make her like see where she was coming from because she's a BLM.
She wasn't asked though.
No,
I know
right.
she wasn't
It was
asked, but
like-
she's her partner. She has a very strong opinion about it. And when you're in a relationship with someone, you get their opinions on things that you're going through in your own life. Like if you have a very big event coming up,
But I didn't ask you for it yet.
And at the same time,
I didn't even tell you I was doing this event yet.
Right, she did.
Like I haven't even told you that this is happening. You found out because you moved something off the table and saw the newspaper with my face in it. Like, let me ask me how I feel about this. Like, hey, this is great. How are you feeling? What are you thinking for this? Not automatically into your own agenda.
Fair enough.
Exactly, and I feel like that's what I was getting from her when she was talking. It was like, okay, is this about me and you really celebrate me, or is this about you? And I'm sure that they obviously have similar goals, but it was like I felt like Chantel was trying to put her agenda ahead and pass it off as Nova's agenda, and that's why I was like, this feels very like, thank you for the help, but like. No. And then how serious are they? Because she didn't tell her about the event. She was shutting down getting advice. I'm like, they're in a relationship.
I mean, it was weird when she brought a bunch of people to Nova's house to have a meeting about Nova's event.
Without Nova knowing.
That was a little pushy.
Okay. So
I'll give her that. But
wasn't there for
I mean, at this point, though, remember, they are in a relationship. They have been practically living together at this point.
That's what I'm saying.
So she hasn't really gone home a lot. So I can see her being very comfortable and thinking that this is
how I'm supposed to be.
Okay, but it's also one of those things where you can't get so comfortable that you forget to think about your partner.
At the same time, though, the Black Lives Matter movement is so important. And I feel like just because you're in a relationship, she's not really worrying about the relationship in that moment. She's worried about this actual movement because it's so necessary for society and for this time. She actually wants Nova to understand things that are going on. I mean, Nova's very aware of what's happening, but she wants Nova to just have a broader perception and to have talking points and to be able to have a clear conversation and impactful conversation. So it's not so much trying to control her in the relationship. It's more so her trying to divulge important information that she wants people to hear because the movement is so important, So I feel like it wasn't like a relationship thing. It was more so Black Lives Matter movement, and you need to like do this stuff for. Because she said it's bigger than any one person.
And I get that.
You know
and I agree with you there. But at the same time, you have to remember that you are in a relationship. And if you want to continue to be in a relationship, you have to, like, I mean, I agree that it's more important than, like, any one person. But when you are in a relationship and trying to do that, you have to remember, okay, there are other elements to this. I get your point. I understand that if you're going to be in a relationship and you want to stay,
she
can't
didn't.
be pushy. Yeah, clearly didn't want to be in it.
Well, and then a little bit of this, we find out, is coming from the fact that she found the picture of Calvin. And she knows that he is a cop, so she's not appreciating that aspect.
Was no one else even shocked that she still had this picture? Like, because I feel like that's another like, because she supposedly moved on, but like the fact that she still had it means she's not completely over it, and that's not a door that she's completely shut.
I did think that that Chantel would be more mad that she had a picture of the dude in her nightstand still, but then this relationship has happened so fast that I could see where, maybe she forgot about it was in there or something. Right. She put it there to hide, and
it just happened.
Chantel hasn't left the house, so she hasn't had a chance to
go home, Chantel. Go home, girl.
But no, it was very interesting just hearing, Chantel's perspective of, this is what we do for a job is what we believe in. And so for you to even be sleeping with a guy who is a part of this racist police force is, questioning your real true nature
at
here.
At the same time, to Nova's point, some people just have jobs and careers. Like, we love doing this, but I also wait tables. I don't believe in fucking waiting tables. I don't care about that shit. Like, so I just gotta pay the bills, so exactly. So like, when you have a job, that doesn't necessarily reflect who you are as a person necessarily.
Yeah, and I do think that maybe not all cops on the force are racist.
Right.
Say that again.
Not all cops on the force are racist. Yes. And I think that, by just looking at a picture of him and deciding that he is part of the problem, maybe he's the one guy who's in there who's trying to make a difference. She doesn't know him. She doesn't know anything about him. And if this is the girl who you're sleeping with has chosen to let him be a part of her life, then why aren't you believing that there is something good about him?
Exactly.
Because she chose him and she also chose you.
That's a good point. That's a really good point, actually.
No, I agree. I agree. I'm not that upset about them ending. I feel like ultimately...
Well, you didn't like the relationship.
It's not that I didn't like it. I just felt like...
It was forced.
Yeah, and the way that they introduced Calvin, I feel like he is not just going to disappear. So I think that it was always destined for Nova to come back to Calvin, and so this is just the
And we touched on the hypocrisy level of the relationship, like in the first episode. So
there we go.
And one other thing, they keep bringing up and making mentions of Too Sweet, but then we never see him. And like tonight, it was such. I don't know. To me, it just
he's
felt
missing tonight.
He's
so.
missing tonight, but it also just felt so random to come to have Red that we haven't seen in weeks. Rip.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
To come by. I don't know why.
He was just saying, hey, I'm here.
Like,
He's wearing a red shirt.
I'm just letting you know that, Too Sweet has gone missing, and then to not go back to it at all.
Well, I think that. Go ahead.
I think it's a build-up. I feel like Chantel planning whatever she was planning with her girls, and then Too Sweet being missing, those two together, plus Nova's event, which we haven't seen yet. I think that is all going to come to head then. So I think that's why. I think it's... Oh, dang, I'm going to predictions. I'm sorry.
No, I
mean, it's fine, but
I think that's why. I think it's
planting
seeds.
I can see that, and I agree with it. It just felt like this one little scene that happened kind of was like...
Wait.
dropping it in. It's like, well, that could have waited till next week, and then we could have seen him.
Happen all at the same time.
All at the same time, because
No.
some people might not have picked up on this Too Sweet thing.
Valid.
It was so quick.
I disagree. I agree with what Ryan said. I think it's building tension, adding to that backstory of Too Sweet. He's out of jail, but his mind is still in jail. The tension of like this young black kid. So I think it's building.
No, but Tiana's saying this.
She's saying that. She's saying it could happen next week on one episode. I think having over a multitude of episodes like builds the tension a little bit.
I mean,
yeah, but like one or two. Now we're at like it's like every week they're sprinkling it in, and we still have not heard. And it's only one mention, one quick thing most of the time, and we just haven't gotten to what it is yet. And I think that's what's frustrating for me because I'm like, okay, I'm concerned. I need to see him. I need to at least give a flash of like, even if Nova hasn't found him, let us go see what he's doing, what's happening in his life, because he keep mentioning it.
I think that's part of like how we love their pacing of the story.
Yeah,
that's part of the pacing and the writing of the story.
I'm not.
I understand your
person.
concern. Like I want to know what's going on Too Sweet too, but I think it adds to the suspense and the drama.
All right.
Young black man, what's going on with Too Sweet? Who knows?
Well, there's a lot of drama going on over with Ralph Angel and Aunt Vi.
I know.
But at least we got somewhat of a happy conclusion with it. But of course, Darla has been back around. She's hanging in there. She's doing good. She's picking up Blue on Mondays and Wednesdays for school.
Once again, though, Ralph Angel conveniently forgets to tell Aunt Vi that Darla's gonna be
But here's the
other Ralph Angel, Aunt Vi hates Darla. You've made an agreement with Darla to pick Blue up on Mondays and Wednesdays. Aunt Vi picks Blue up, takes him to school every day. You forget to tell her that Darla, the woman who she hates most in the world, is going to be coming to her house to pick up her great nephew.
It wasn't her house.
Whatever, whatever. Minor detail. You couldn't tell her that, dude. Come on, man. This is why I tried to give you the benefit of the doubt. Last week we had Remy on. He was trying to defend you, but he keeps messing up.
You done?
Are
you done?
For now.
I feel like this is a very minor thing for you to go off on Ralph Angel about, because I feel like things.
It's not. It's a build up.
And
it's a build up.
No, you want to talk about a build up? This is no. My turn to talk.
Okay.
Taking control.
Yep.
This is just all in what the whole storyline was tonight about how he should not have to ask or permission. He should be able to make a decision about his son and about his son's life, who's taking his son to school, without having to run it by Aunt Vi first. That was the whole purpose of this situation. It's like, hey, I forgot to tell you, because it shouldn't be at the front of my mind that wait, hang on.
My kid's taken care of. And like he was saying, Blue always comes first. So Blue came first. He made sure Blue was taken care of. Vi was not first. That was not the first person, let me run this by him, because Blue was taken care of. So why?
But you're not his legal guardian because you went to jail, bro. You're not his legal guardian because your girlfriend was a crack whore on top of dudes with a baby in the room. There's a reason why you're not the guardian, because you've been effing up. So you have to understand that and be accountable for your actions.
He has been.
I feel like he's been
also been making mistakes. Also, what?
I mean, you're right. You're right. He has made mistakes. You're right.
He made a couple mistakes.
Right.
But, I mean,
and
this is happening.
Listen to this. If Aunt Vi had not been his guardian and he had gotten caught with those stolen Xboxes or laptops or whatever, where would Blue end up? He could be in the foster system right now.
But see, because of his mistakes. I
know he did, but I'm bringing it back up to make a further...
But timeline-wise, to us, it could have been 3 weeks ago, but in the story, it's been months. It's been months now.
Yeah.
Or it's been a little bit, at least, So I think that you're still harping on stuff because it's at the forefront of your mind.
Look,
but storyline
love Ralph
wise, he's
Angel.
been doing a good job. He has been staying out of trouble.
And
He's
not only
doing
that,
his fatherly
Darla
duties.
also has been. So like it's like the combination of him doing well and Darla doing well, and it's like, okay, we got this. We're back in the swing of things. So you know what I mean?
And you got Vi over here saying that it's okay for that Davis
100%.
deserves to have a father figure role in Micah's life,
yeah.
and he went off and basically let a girl get raped on his watch.
That's pretty bad.
And but he can't. I mean, we don't know what Ralph Angel did, but I know it wasn't raping no girls.
I wouldn't want
don't
Davis.
know,
I
but-
didn't say that about Davis. Vi did. That's not me. That's her. I'm
just
just
saying-
talking
What we're
about.
saying is that like that it plays into Ralph Angel's mind. Like, okay, well, like so you
There's a little bit
clearly
of a
have
double standard.
Yeah, it is. It's like you
Yeah.
clearly have.
I mean,
some
when you're
level
light
of
skinned,
remorse.
like certain advantages come to you in
That-
this world.
hey,
So
there-
I mean,
we talk
look,
about
hey, that's
privilege
just how it
tonight, too.
is. Colorism is real. It ain't right, but it's real. So.
You're ridiculous.
I'm just kidding.
No, I felt like that whole thing with Vi was it felt very petty. Like she just was holding on to so much of this with
Yeah.
Ralph Angel, and it's like you. And I'm glad we finally saw her start to let things go. But I agree, Ralph Angel should not have had to run it by
To your
Vi.
point about Davis, though.
Okay, well, that's okay.
Go ahead.
No, you go, please.
No, I'm sorry.
you please.
To your point about Davis, Hollywood said it last week. Aunt Vi isn't doing this because of Blue. She's doing it because of Ralph Angel. She still sees him as her baby. She's not looking at Davis like this. She's looking at Ralph Angel as someone she has to protect and love on and be like just the
So what
end
you're
all
saying
be
is
on.
it's
So
not Ralph Angel's fault. That's just how Vi's seeing him.
That's how
but
Vi
instead of
sides.
seeing him
I'm
as the
saying
man
that
that
for
he
the
is.
point between Davis and Ralph Angel, that's one small point of the many points that I'm trying to make about Ralph Angel. That's just one small point.
Okay.
Anyways.
Boy,
Someone
Vi.
else. Someone else go
Also,
ahead.
speaking of Ralph
Y'all
Angel,
get me heated over here. You're supposed to be on my side, bro. What
No,
happened? What
he's
you-
seeing the
I've seen the
light.
light.
You know what? You know what?
I have.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you so much. That's all I wanted.
This is all Remy's fault from last week.
No, but speaking of Ralph Angel, I don't know if this. I don't know how.
Sorry, I just got that. You cannot upgrade him to Kelly. That's
I
not
just
fair.
did. I'm Beyonce. I can do whatever I want.
100% accurate. Speaking of Ralph Angel, I don't know how I feel about him and Darla anymore now that Raina has come back in the picture a little more, because they started to introduce this little romance, and then like I feel like it's kind of gone away to this point, and I think that makes me sad because I'm like, part of me wants him to be back with Darla because I'm like, oh, she's doing better and yada yada yada, but Raina was so good, like, or she's appeared. I mean, we don't know her that well, but I was like, oh, I like this.
If she's teaching the baby, she's gone
Gotta
through a
be
background
good.
check
Yeah.
at least. You know, at least we know doesn't have any priors.
100%.
But I agree. I don't know that I necessarily ever wanted Ralph Angel and Darla to get back together because I do think that they're great at co-parenting.
Right.
But them together is toxic. And I think they need to stay away because when you get back together, that's how you fall back into bad patterns and bad habits. So I do agree that I would like to see Raina around a little bit more and see what we can find with that. But then, you know, you also got Roberta over here. So, like...
She was back tonight.
She was back
She's out
tonight.
in full force.
Yeah, just not doing her job very well. You can't mop a floor, girl. Come on.
It's hard to mop when you got all that like chest in the way.
I'm
maybe.
done. How do you know?
I'm assuming. Tiona, what do you think?
It is hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's
Okay,
hard.
thank you.
I'm well breasted. It is hard. I'm also
Well-breasted.
very tall, and brooms and mops are not made for tall people, so you end up hunched over to do it a little bit.
Okay.
So my back hurts a
Got it.
lot.
Makes
Fair
sense.
point.
Okay.
then.
Yeah.
There we go.
Did
Looking
anyone
at my boobs.
did anyone else feel that, like, I get it, it was to drive the point of Ralph not needing shouldn't having to run things by Vi, but I felt like he was being a little dramatic about this whole zoo thing. Like, I was like, all right, Ralph, I get it. You don't want to have to ask on Vi, but like, it's not that big of a deal.
I just think it was his breaking point.
Okay, because
adding
it
up.
felt very.
Yeah.
You're trying to come back to your things adding up. Is that you dropping subtle hints back to your point? That's what I'm feeling. Okay.
No.
Okay. No, I just felt. I was like, this is a mess.
It wasn't about the zoo.
Yeah.
It was about everything else. You know, the fact that, you know, Vi got mad at him earlier because he didn't let him know. Like, making his decisions about his son, that's what it had taken a toll on him.
Makes
So
more
the zoo was the breaking point.
Makes sense.
But I did get kind of nervous when he was telling Darla about the situation, and she was like, yeah, Yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh,
what
is
is
she
she
like plotting?
Yeah, what is she
She's like
plotting?
plotting to like kidnap him or something. And like,
something might be happening.
Why are we killing people? That's not going to help the situation.
That's where my mind went. I was like, oh, we're killing Vi. Got it. I jumped on the wrong train.
I thought we went over this last week. This is not Game of Thrones. This is reality.
Come back.
Sorry.
This is a real world.
I'm kidnapping
not a murderer.
Got it.
Thank you.
Right.
Welcome back. We're back here. No, I just thought that maybe she was gonna like try to convince Ralph Angel that they should team up together and take it to the courts and get lawyers involved.
Yeah.
I was just very scared, and I'm glad it did not end up like that because
she did look like she was plotting.
It did seem
right.
Yeah.
She had a very plotting look.
But she also just said like, I understand because this is exactly what she has to do with Ralph Angel. So it's like Ralph Angel has to answer the Aunt Vi. Darla has to ask permission to do anything with her son. Right. If it's to come over, remember right before the storm, she was coming by to give him his birthday gift, and Ralph Angel was like, "Why didn't you call? Why you can't just show up here?"
So you think that's
and it's her son?
Hypocritical of Ralph Angel then, or
no? I don't. I mean, I think that putting it in that perspective and her saying it made him realize I am doing this. He didn't realize that that's what was happening because he's just protecting his son, just like Aunt Vi thinks she's protecting Blue too. Yeah. It's like they all care. That's the ultimate
they have their
problem.
reasons. They all have their reasons.
Yeah. So that's the biggest
thing.
So
do we think that, well, I guess it doesn't matter now because he has guardianship, but do you think she was right for giving that back over to him? Or do you think
I think it was time.
It was time.
Well, the other thing, because I think in this episode we also see Vi evolve a little. She finally starts to let go. And so I think that her signing over the rights of Blue back over to Ralph, I think it was just kind of like one of the final things for her to be like, okay, you know what? Because she got to be a manager at the restaurant, and I think she just needed something. Because she was talking to Hollywood about, sometimes your purpose in life is just to take care of people, and when they don't, it was like she was having an identity crisis because she wasn't needed, and she needs to, like a lot of people need to be needed, and so I think her getting this managerial position was her allowing herself to, like, you know what, I can let go.
I mean,
I think she needed that.
We're all trying to find our purpose in life.
Yeah.
So.
And Charlie's comment definitely helped. It hurt,
Shady
but
she
it
was
helped.
shady boots. She was like, well, that's why we want him to go to private school.
So he doesn't end up like, ooh.
Like, wow. Yeah, her comments, even the whole, like, well, privilege is passed down. White people have done it, blah, 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 blah. And, like, I get her point. And, like, I mean, she kind of has a point there where it's like, why not private?
Bougie over here.
Right.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I went to private school, too.
I went to a white fraternity, whatever. My best friends were white. It was cool.
I'm not going to give up my privilege, okay? Like, whatever. I'm just saying that her comments were kind of pointed, and it's like that was her showing her distance with the family. Because she's a little bit of an outsider, so even this was kind of like her kind of reminding them.
Wait to see more of her upbringing, her backstory.
Right.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, I agree with her to a point of, like, this is something that white people have done for years. It's how generations all go to Yale and Harvard. Yeah. Most of them don't deserve to get in or have the grades, Bush. But they went there because
bottom percentile of his college class.
Yes, but they went there because of a name, and so I don't disagree with her that as a community, this is something that we need to pass down. Right. I don't think that she should think that she's better than anyone for doing it, though.
Let me tell you about white privilege. White privilege is... we've had 8 years of an Obama presidency, right?
Yeah.
We've seen how
I don't want to cry.
I know, I'm sorry. I gotta do it. I gotta get political for a second. We've seen how he has had to carry himself. He's had to be super respectful. He can't be the angry black man. He has to play it cool. He has to say the right things. He has to be PC. He has to reach across the aisle. Then look at this... Look at what we got as a president-elect coming up. He says the craziest shit. He demeans women, minorities. He's been everything but PC in his whole 18-month campaign, and he becomes president. That's white privilege for you right there. You don't have to be good. You have to be just like, I can't even get the words out because I'm so upset about this election. But that is white privilege for you. Also, with women. You can be as qualified. You can be the smartest woman in the class. You can have the most job experience. If you are competing against any man, it doesn't matter because they're going to get the job over you. That is white privilege. Or they're going to make more than you. That is sexism. Yes. That is racism. That is a problem in this country. That is why the BLM movement that they're talking about in the show is so important. That's why Queen Sugar is so necessary right now. There's so many things going on. I feel myself getting emotional, so I'm going to like...
No, it's okay. No, I mean, I agree that, like, that... there's a lot going on in the country, and there's a lot of privilege that is out there. But I think it's something that we have to acknowledge, and it's the only thing we can do right now is move forward and do the best we can to be and do better. And then, I agree, it is a very upsetting time, but like we can't just give up. And I think it's like to take those emotions and put it to work. And that is.
And I think that Vi is doing a great job of
we have
moving forward
on.
and finding her purpose in life. She's got this amazing job now with the manager. She convinces him, I want benefits too.
Right.
Which, was huge. She stood up for herself, and she's very proud of what she does now. And a lot of that, it was kickstarted before, but a lot of it helped when Charley said that to her. She even acknowledged that. And it even helped, I think, with her in Hollywood getting back together.
Yeah, there was that last thing where she was like, I can wrestle you up
so
some
happy to
coffee.
see
When
that.
you give someone some free coffee, that's love.
The key to any man's heart is through his stomach.
Okay.
So she should cook for him. No,
She should have cooked. Right?
She should have cooked.
Where's the bacon and the eggs? The coffee was a nice warm up. We gotta keep this going.
But I'm happy to see Vi finally kind of letting go and like, she's like, you know what? I'm ready to take the step and I'm ready to spread my wings and become, not that she wasn't her own person before, but like, I'm good.
And
good
at this
like
point,
that.
Hollywood hasn't even told her that he's divorcing Leanne.
Right.
And she's just doing this,
the
with
kindness
the
of her.
thought of all of the drama that has happened.
Right.
Yeah.
That's because she's feeling happier with herself.
Yeah.
And feeling like more purposeful. So she's able to accept Hollywood back into her life.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So we got to talk about this mill drama.
Yeah.
Whew, this was heavy.
I was
like, oh wow.
Oh,
was aggressive.
shiza. All right. So
hurt me to my soul.
we got this mill that they need to get the deal done with the mill, but first of all, the workers haven't come back after the deaths of Arturo and Ignacio.
Say their
Murder
names.
them.
Say their names.
Because their lives matter.
They do matter.
Know their names. We learned that last week. Know the names of the people you're around daily. I should actually talk to my coworkers and find out their names.
Yeah, in case they get murdered.
I'm like, someone asked me today, where's this person? I'm like, I don't know who that is.
Sorry.
Sorry. I sit in my office. I don't do anything else.
Good.
But no, so no one's come back since that. So they're
incident.
already down on workers. They're behind because of the storm. And now they don't have a mill to actually grind the sugar.
Yeah,
Whatever they do
to,
at the
to
mills.
grind and refine.
Grind and
the
refine
sugar.
the sugar.
Okay.
I mean, I'm already grinded and refined.
Oh, okay.
Sweet as sugar.
Oh, that's fun.
So Charley goes to meet with this guy. He seems shady. All I know is the only
Bordeaux.
Yeah, the Bordeaux.
Bordeaux?
Bourgeois or something.
French.
Anyways.
French.
Creole, something like that.
The only white people we've seen on
French.
this show haven't really been the best, minus
wow.
Davis. Because the other guy, like the Landry...
Miles Davis?
Davis.
Davis is the husband, the ex-husband, and who's not white. I'm confused.
No, sorry, not Davis.
I
What's
was
his
like, what are you
name?
talking about?
Not Davis. I'm looking at my notes and Davis is right there.
Who's the other one?
Calvin.
Oh, Calvin.
Oh, I'm
That's
like,
what I was
I was like,
I
that.
need you guys to just know what I'm talking about.
I was like,
I need you to
what?
just know.
That's what I thought this who you're talking about. I was like, oh,
Calvin.
So Calvin,
Continue.
who minus having a wife and a family,
nah.
but we've seen Landry.
Minus adultery.
Minus adultery.
Semantics, whatever.
But Landry was after their land, and
Right.
he had manipulative
Right.
things. So this guy comes around, and I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, how's he connected? Like, is he doing a deal for Landry, without us knowing, and he's trying to be sneaky about it? And lo and behold, but all of the mills in the area do a 40-60 split, which is
Weird.
Crazy
outrageous.
percentage.
Yeah.
It seems
It's
like they are cheating,
robbing,
robbing everyone in the community. And I love that Charlie's like, well, why haven't anyone tried to do something? Like, band together. If they don't get the money from your business, then
Right.
they
They can't
can't
do
do anything either. I know
Right.
it would hurt the farmers as well, and it would hurt them a lot harder because these guys are rich.
Yeah.
But she's like, why hasn't there been some sort of
They've been trying.
Unity.
Yeah, they've been working for
but,
years.
But
trying
no, that's
to-
the thing is because the Landry and then subsequently the Bordeaux work together to make it hard for everyone, basically to run everyone out. And we find out that that's kind of what was happening to the Bordelons.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We find out that they own all of the property surrounding the Bordelons, except for one little strip that is theirs.
Right.
And Charley, being the smart businesswoman she is, she's like, And then he offered me like 6 times what we were
Right.
offered
Right.
3 months ago. So something clearly is up. And
Thankfully, Aunt Vi let her know that they were the same, the Bordelons
Yeah,
and the
and
Landrys.
the
Because if she had to
Landrys.
know that, she might have been like, oh, you know.
she might not have
Take
thought
this deal.
much about
Yeah.
it.
Right.
But I also love that, their father knew what was going on with the property and told Aunt Vi and Prospector not to tell the kids because he wanted them to love this
Keep
land.
calling Prospect.
I was with you. I knew what you meant. I was with you.
We all
I
know
was,
what you meant.
I was gonna let it slide.
See, that's
I
what
wasn't
you
gonna
guys
call
knew
you
where
out.
it was.
I was gonna let it slide, but Prosper. But okay, Prospector.
Prospector. I like it better anyways.
Toy
So
Story 2.
he knew the story of what happened with the land, and this just broke my heart
Yeah.
to hear.
We were all sitting there with like our hands over our mouths, just like
dang.
stunned. Like we felt that in our souls because like we know like this is our history
Yeah.
for many of us here.
And at the same time that I was watching it and being, feeling so sad, I was also thinking, wow, you know where you come from. You know that
Right.
your family has roots in this land. And it's something that's so great about having that empowerment of enrichment of like, this is my family's soil. We've worked on it. We've done this. A lot of Black people don't have that.
Right.
Right.
A lot of people are just like, I don't even know where we come from or anything
Yep.
like that. So at least they have some sort of lineage to follow, and
Right.
it might stop at a certain point, but it's like that proudness and
And to
pride.
know that your family overcame it and then started to own it and not just be sharecroppers, but like you owned it. So I think that was a real turning point
Yeah.
for the siblings because it's like, okay, like I don't like now there's more incentive not to sell, not even just to do it for 2 years and like just to kind of break even. It's like, no, this is
I was gonna,
Yeah.
Ours.
I was gonna say like, just piggybacking that. Not only do they have roots, but they have like fruit of
Yeah.
their labor,
Right.
and they have blood that's been shed on this ground. Like that story about their grandfather or
killed,
Great grandfather
strung up, and his sisters having to like cut him down and bury him. It's so real because how many times has that happened to our
And
ancestors?
this, yes, and this is in the 40s
Yeah,
at
it
this
wasn't
point.
long
It's
ago.
after the Great Depression. This wasn't that long ago. This was less than, I can't do math.
like 70
like
years,
70
60,
years
70
ago.
Yeah.
Like that's not
Not
that
that
far
long ago.
removed. We have grandparents who are older than that.
Right.
Like that's the reality of the situation. When people hear about nooses and hangings, they think it all comes from, that was back in the
Wasn't that long
1800s. That was
ago.
back in slavery. It's like, no, this shit was still happening.
Yes.
Quietly
There
as it's kept.
Yeah, it's still happening.
It's still happening. My freshman year of college, they had like a noose hanging down with a black baby doll from a tree on my college campus. Like this shit is real.
Where'd you go to college?
Virginia.
Oh,
I mean, I love my college. That was an incident, but
no, well.
it's like real out here.
Yeah, and so to just know the history and to hear the story, I'm so glad that it's something that's finally brought these kids together. But I was actually shocked too with all the back and forth about this property and these siblings fighting so
Yeah,
much
why
about
no
it
one ever-
that Vi and
Prosper.
were able to keep this inside because
Yeah.
knowing that story and knowing that they promised,
That burden.
that they wouldn't tell the kids until they asked about it.
Right.
Just to have this in the back of your head when you're trying to convince them, don't sell, don't do this. Like, this is what we need to do to keep it alive.
Even more so, growing up there, it's weird that they never that everyone kept it away from the kids because they grew up there, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's like even the fact that was
People
kind of
know.
something. Yeah, like
Right.
I think it's just interesting. Like, oh, they kept it from the kids. I'm like, wow.
Probably something you just don't
No,
talk
you don't.
about.
I mean, I'm
know?
sure.
Yeah.
And I have a question. Maybe I missed this somewhere in an episode. Do we know who Charlie's mom is?
Not
No.
yet.
And that's okay. Okay. Because I was like,
But
because
he did make a mention of her mom.
today or like Ernest has made mention of the mom. Ernest made mention earlier. Paul did.
Paul.
Yeah, I know, and that's I picked up on that too, and I was like, that's weird. Because like
The
I feel
white
like
guy.
Oh, the board.
No, yeah. Yes, the Bordelon.
Yeah.
okay.
But
See,
it was,
having Bordelon and
Bordelon
Bordelon
together.
too close together.
no, yeah, but I thought that was very weird because I'm like, we don't know much about. Is she alive? Is she dead? Like what?
I think she's alive.
Based
'cause
on her
there's-
reaction,
yeah.
I think at this point I've
Her mom
always
is
assumed
alive.
that her mom was dead, but after her reaction tonight, I was like,
It's like,
maybe
she's
Mama's
very-
not.
Yeah, she's very casual. Oh, that's not hard. And I'm like, that's weird because it was weird.
She's like, oh, we don't talk much, so I think she's alive.
Yeah.
What do you call it when your relationship is like
Estranged.
Estranged. Yeah.
Yeah.
An estranged.
yeah, it was that hit me too. I thought that was an interesting.
Yeah, but
so I was
before
like,
that, I just assumed that
She was dead.
She was.
But I feel like why not? I don't know. I was like, why haven't anyone said anything about this? Like, why has she not said her mom is dead? I feel like we would have gotten confirmation.
Because she's not dead.
Well, yeah, now we kind of know for sure, but yeah.
I just think, when they don't mention
they're dead.
Well,
I mean,
when
you
they
have to
don't
remember,
mention
this is
the other parent, like we've heard about the father, we know that she was a mistress, but I'm just thinking in my head, well, we haven't heard any mention of her. If she was alive, she should have been mentioned at this point.
No, we don't talk about her in this house.
But yeah, it's one of those situations now. So I don't know. I don't know.
But yeah, now that this is revealed, I definitely don't think that they're leaving.
Yeah, especially, I mean, their father worked so hard to keep this alive, and every time he would do something good, they would find a way to block him, and you just realize that this is why the farm was in such bad shape financially. This is why he had to go get that second job to pay for the farm.
He died.
This is why he died. They ran him to the grave trying to save this piece of property that they want back, that they probably don't even remember what their ancestors did to do to them.
Just like they did Kobe, ran him to the ground. Sorry, I had to bring that up.
Why are you always talking about Kobe? Like,
because I'm still sad about it.
We're not even talking about basketball at this point.
I don't see how
Davis basketball.
No,
did we mention Davis?
No, well, I did on accident, but we didn't really talk about him at all.
Also, fun fact:
Kobe's
Davis
always present.
Potentially could be coming back for the interview of Gardini, whatever that school is. They mentioned Charley was not happy about it.
Gardini Pratt.
Yeah.
Gardini
He'll be back.
Pratt.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a boy father, so he'll be around.
Yeah, that's true.
Apparently, he deserves to be in his son's life.
That's what Ron Thought said. Don't put words in my mouth. I ain't say that.
I just looked at you when I said it. So I think we should move into some predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
I feel like I should be like Raven, which is coming back. That's a Raven's coming back. I'm kind of excited.
That has nothing to do with
Doesn't,
this.
but predictions, Raven.
Yeah.
If I can't talk about Kobe, you can't talk about Raven.
Okay, done and done. Predictions.
So we didn't get to see the preview for next week.
Oh yeah,
because our recording cut off. So
if our predictions are off, please forgive us.
No.
If you say something,
I have
really
no idea what's gonna happen, but I know Ryan has concocted some crazy shenanigans
It's not
in his head.
crazy.
Do you have a vision?
Yeah, I did. That was weird. I'm sorry. I'll never do that again. So
You're doing more.
I thank you. I've been trying. Okay, stop. I think that because we are now introduced to this new side of the Bordeaux Landry family, and Remy is light skinned.
Oh my god!
No, guys, don't. It's not weird.
Can you leave Remy out of one of your predictions,
Remy was
please?
sitting here and he said, I am not related to that woman.
Right. Okay. Are you guys?
He's going to say he's related to the white people.
Because if you think about it, he also was like, it's going to be something that is not. He didn't say that. But like the way it came out, I was like, because Remy.
Oh no, Remy said it.
Now Remy said it. No, what I'm saying is that we know that Remy has to have a character flaw. Every character has a character flaw. So to me, it makes sense at this point for his character flaw to be something that he can't control, because we know that he's a good man, and
I said that last week.
And that's what I'm saying.
Verbatim
So we know that it's something he can control. So what more can you not control than your family? And so I think he's related to the Landry Bordeaux family.
Well, at this point, I think that the Bordeaux and Landry families are related to the Bordelons if they owned them in slavery. Like everyone's freaking related right now.
Like Charlie's mom.
So low key, that brings it back to my other thing, is that I think Charlie's mom is also related, which kind of brings it back to my other point that they must still be related.
Oh my
Bang.
god!
I cannot believe you found a way to bring this back.
Yeah, someone commented, I'm glad that's dead. It's not, because we found out tonight that we don't know. So there you go. Done and done. Cousins, at least, maybe. You guys got any predictions? We good? Stop. You're making
I can't
so
even.
over you, bro. I'm over you and your predictions.
I can't think of a prediction, but all I'm thinking of how ridiculous you are.
One of those things is going to be true.
Or none of those things are going to be true.
Guarantee one of those things is going to be true. So you heard it here first.
Why can't you just stop? I could give you maybe Remy's related to him, maybe.
there
But
we
now
go.
Charlie
Done.
too, or maybe Charles related. But both of them, bro, like,
I'm
come
just saying
on,
possible.
let
Out
it
of
go.
the two of them, I could believe that Charlie
Yeah,
in
I'll
some
give
ways,
you
just
Charlie.
because like they own them as slaves, so
Right.
clearly
It makes sense for her to be.
Yeah, it makes sense for her and Ralph Angel, all of them, to
Have
somehow.
Why can't my prediction just be my prediction? Why can't
Your prediction
Because
is your
Remy
prediction.
told you last week it's
you
not-
know what? Nope.
All right.
Omari, he has the right to his opinion.
Thank you.
He can state it however he wants.
Thank you.
His voice matters.
Thank you.
And he is allowed to have his judgment and his opinion on
You
things,
voted for Trump,
even
didn't you?
if we don't believe in what he's saying.
Right.
We have to respect that he has it.
Because of this prediction, I voted for
No, we're not going there.
We're not going there. You're right.
We can't do
Anyways,
it.
thank you guys so much for watching this show. I'm
I didn't
sorry.
give a prediction.
Yeah.
Well,
You
you
wasted
wasted,
your
your
prediction.
time
Yep.
talking about Trump because we have
100%.
30 seconds to wrap. Thank you guys for watching.
Very
Where
much.
can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Ryan with 2 N's Graham and on Instagram at Instagram.
And you can find me at Owen with Omari at on Twitter and IG, and also on Snapchat at Omari B. And if you're feeling fancy, on Facebook at Omari Bailey.
And make sure you check out all the shows we do here at AfterBuzz TV. You can find us all over the internet at AfterBuzz TV. You can find me at the Tiona Hobson. And thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.